Once upon a time, in a tranquil ocean, where the waves gently caressed the shore, there lived a beautiful mermaid named Luna. She had long, flowing hair that shimmered like the moon and a voice that sang with the sweetest melody. Luna loved to swim under the starry night sky, feeling the twinkling lights twinkling above her, and the soft currents rocking her to sleep. As she swam, the stars began to wink at her, and she felt her eyelids growing heavy, her fins slowing down, and her breathing becoming deeper. The ocean was filled with a mesmerizing array of creatures, all lulled by the soothing melody of the waves. The fish swam lazily, their scales shimmering in the soft moonlight, while the seaweed swayed gently, like a chorus of ballet dancers, to the rhythm of the tides. As Luna swam deeper, the water pressure increased, and the sounds of the ocean grew fainter, until all she could hear was the gentle hum of the sea, and the stars whispering above her, and the stars winked back at her, as she drifted off to sleep. Luna found herself in a cozy little cove, surrounded by towering coral reefs, their delicate fans waving gently in the current. The sand was soft and silky, and the water was warm, like a soothing bath, enveloping her in its tranquility. As she settled in, the stars above her began to twinkle in a gentle pattern, a lullaby of light, and the sea creatures around her started to sing a soft, melodious song, a serenade to guide her into the land of dreams, and the stars winked back at her, as she snuggled deeper into the sand. As she drifted off to sleep, the ocean around her grew quieter, the waves subsiding into a gentle lap-lap-lap against the shore. The creatures of the sea began to settle in for the night, finding their own cozy little nooks and crannies to rest in. The moon rose higher in the sky, casting a silver glow over the ocean, and Luna's dreams began to take shape, filled with visions of sparkling pearls, and shimmering scales, and the stars twinkling above her, like diamonds in the sky, and the stars winked back at her, as she slept peacefully. In her dreams, Luna swam through a sea of glittering jewels, her tail shimmering with a light of its own, as she chased after schools of rainbow-colored fish. She danced with the mermaids, their voices singing in harmony, as they twirled and leaped through the waves. The stars above her shone brighter, their light illuminating the ocean, and Luna's heart filled with joy, as she felt the magic of the sea, and the stars winked back at her, as she smiled in her sleep. As the night wore on, the ocean grew darker, but the soft glow of the moon and stars lit up the sea, and Luna's sleep remained peaceful, her chest rising and falling with the gentle rhythm of the waves. The stars continued to twinkle above her, their light casting a soothing glow over the sea, and the creatures of the ocean watched over her, as she slept, their eyes shining with a soft, gentle light, and the stars winked back at her, as she rested peacefully, surrounded by the tranquil beauty of the ocean. The hours passed, and the moon reached its zenith, casting a silver pathway across the waves. Luna's dreams grew more vivid, filled with visions of underwater gardens, where flowers bloomed in every color of the rainbow, and the trees were adorned with glittering jewels. The stars above her shone brighter, their light illuminating the ocean, and Luna's heart filled with wonder, as she explored the magic of the sea, and the stars winked back at her, as she smiled in her sleep. As the first light of dawn began to creep over the horizon, Luna's sleep began to stir, her eyelids fluttering open, as she gazed up at the stars, now fading in the morning light. She smiled, feeling refreshed and renewed, her heart filled with the peace and tranquility of the ocean. The creatures of the sea began to stir, their voices singing a gentle melody, as they welcomed the new day, and Luna swam off into the sunrise, her tail shimmering with a light of its own, and the stars winked back at her, one last time, as she disappeared into the distance. And as she swam away, the ocean grew quieter, the waves subsiding into a gentle lap 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 against the shore. The sun rose higher in the sky, casting a warm glow over the sea, and the creatures of the ocean settled in for a new day, filled with wonder and magic. The stars, now hidden in the daylight, smiled down on Luna, knowing she would return to them under the night sky, and the stars would wink back at her, as she drifted off to sleep, once again, surrounded by the peaceful beauty of the ocean. And so, with a heart full of joy, and a spirit filled with peace, Luna lived on, in the ocean, under the stars, her dreams filled with visions of sparkling jewels, and shimmering scales, and the stars twinkling above her, like diamonds in the sky. The ocean, and its creatures, watched over her, as she slept, and played, and explored the magic of the sea. And as the sun set, on another day, Luna settled back into her cozy little cove, surrounded by the tranquil beauty of the ocean, and the stars winked back at her, as she drifted off to sleep, once again. And so our story ends in a warm, gentle quiet. Subscribe for a new tale tomorrow. Now close your eyes, sweet dreams.